Hello, my loves, and welcome to another episode of Nene's Notions. My name is Nina, and y'all join me in my show where we learn, talk, and grow, and just chill with your girl Nene. And without further ado, let's get into today's notion. All right, you guys. So this is a notion where let me try not to get a little bit triggered by this notion. And I will say, all right. So today's notion is when you step out of bounds. And my subtopic for this is that respect the boundaries. All right, y'all. And I might have to do a part 2 to this one with some friends. Because, some friends were just like, yo, Nina, when you start talking about boundaries, let me know. Because I'm going to come on the show. But honestly, yeah, this is a conversation where I got to do my part 1 before I bring in, my friends and stuff like that. We ran together. But, yeah, so respect the boundaries. All right, y'all. But for those who don't know the definition of boundaries, let me lay it on you right now. The definition of boundaries is a limit of subject or sphere of activity. And another definition of boundaries is a line that marks the limit of an area, a dividing line. So, boundaries to me, and my personal definition of boundaries is basically you respecting someone's space. In my personal opinion, you respecting someone's space, and also you respecting their relationship, and not stepping out of line with some comments that you say, or basically involving yourself in something that you really don't need to be involved in, and just respecting the boundaries of a relationship, family, a friendship, things like that. Because once you overstep that boundary, then that's when you get in it, and that's when it becomes a whole big mess, and it becomes messy. So basically, through YouTube, I be seeing so many different YouTube videos of where it's always like the comment of a relationship, and the friend steps in and is always putting their 2 cents, not respecting their boundaries, and just always stepping in, giving the 2 cents, creating more mess, making it more messy, XYZ, this, that, and the third. And for me, I would say, for me personally, and this is just me, sometimes when it's those, and when I get into a relationship right now, team single, but when I get into a relationship, I just want to know, when it comes to my friends, they respect my boundaries. They will respect me and my relationship. At the end of the day, whatever goes on within my relationship, I know my friends are just going to be like, hey, Nina, we're here for you, we need us. But really, they'll let me work it out. But there's some friends that, that are, I wouldn't say are pushy, but I just saying they're involving themselves in between, getting themselves in the middle when really they don't need to be in the middle. And this is also when, not just with relationships, this is also with if 2 friends are going at it, and then another friend comes in, and another friend that maybe that other friend don't know, but that's your friend, if y'all get what I'm saying. That's the other person's friend, and really they're getting involved and in the middle of something that they don't know about, but they're not honestly respecting the boundary within that friendship and saying, hey, stay out of it, this has nothing to do with you, we need to figure this out, A and B, A, B, not A, B, and C. So y'all know the term of this is an A, B conversation, see your way out of it. Yeah. That's basically what it is. And honestly, there are some people, something that's interesting that I read, that they examine the 7 types of boundaries. And honestly, this is really interesting. And when I took a look at these, I was like, these are very true. So the 7 types are physical, sexual, emotional/mental, spiritual, financial/material, time, and non-negotiable boundaries. Honestly, a lot of those do hit to many situations within society today, or some stuff that I look back on in my own life, and I was just like, that is very true. Or some stuff that I seen with, what's going on with other people within within my life, or within many different people, because there are some people that don't know honestly how to respect other people's boundaries. If you have a boundary set and say, hey, I'm not comfortable with this, or hey, I don't want this person involved in this, or I don't want these things, to happen, or this person can be surrounded around us because they create all this mess and things like that. All the above. At the end of the day, respect the boundary. Because if you sit up here saying, oh yeah, I'm like, saying, oh, what was I trying to say? Yeah, if you sit up here and saying, oh yeah, well, this is my friend, and they're just giving advice, but still sometimes, but if you feel uncomfortable in a relationship and someone not being willing to, and someone, not being a part of it and in the middle of it, y'all should be willing to work it out. A and B. You don't need at the end of the day, everyone is entitled to your opinion, and you can get wise words from a friend, a family member, everything like that, but at the end of the day, you have to be willing to work it out. But also still, that friend on the outside, or say for instance that family member on the outside, has to be willing to respect the boundary within any relationship that you're going through. Yes, family and friends are always going to give their opinion, but it's still the same opinion on certain situations, but they, at the end of the day, they let majority of people work it out. But there's sometimes when they don't know how to respect the boundaries within it and saying, hey, we need you to put this on pause. And this made me think back to when I was watching this one show called I'm in Love with the Mama's Boy, and that show is so triggering for me, because I was like, God, I pray I don't deal with this. I genuinely don't pray I don't deal with this when I get into a relationship where me and whoever God pairs me with, we're me and their family, we all keep the peace, we all love each other. I hope and I pray that, because me personally, ain't nobody got time to deal with all that. But I'm in Love with a Mama's Boy is basically saying a lot of wives, and girlfriends, whoever it is, deal with, they're in a relationship with a guy who is a mama's boy. Basically, their mom, they have a great relationship with their mother. Not only a great relationship with their mother, but also their mom steps, is a little bit extreme. And there's been so many times where there have been so many of these mama's boys that just don't know how to put their mothers in check and tell them how to respect their boundaries. Because I understand, me personally, I'm not knocking, if say for instance, if they're, whatever guy that I'm with, if he has a great relationship with his mom, I'm not mad at that, because I have an amazing relationship with my mom. I would not let them stop, having a relationship with their mother, or knock them having a relationship with their mom, or not want to be respectful to their mother. I'm not saying that. But also still in the same sense, when I looked at this show, because there was one that triggered me heavy, where there was this girl, and husband and wife. And one of the girls, she's a professional boxer, everything like that. Her husband is basically she has, a daughter, she has children, they have children together, everything like that. But his mom is questioning paternity over one of their children, over his daughter. And then she's the one that's saying, well, you need to get a DNA test, this, that, and the third, all these things like that. And it's just she's looking like, okay, why? She's like, first of all, I don't need to prove anything to you because at the end of the day, I know who I slept with. For my child to come here, I know who I slept with. And basically, she's the only main one that's been pushing pushing it. And he was trying to keep the peace between both. He's stuck in the middle, but still in the same sense, she was just stepping so out of bounds and saying well, she's not all that. If saying well, if this is not my son's child, I'm gonna beat you up and all this other stuff. And then I was like, well, lovely, she's a professional boxer if you even try to take the swing. But still in the same sense, it's just she was just pushing the paternity test a little bit too hard. And it's just that's disrespectful, because why would you that's disrespectful towards her. But mainly that's on the bounds of the mom don't like the girl for some odd reason, don't know why, but it's just like, but basically but she said basically she created a wedge between me and my son, and I was like, no, your son just moved on and he's in a relationship. That doesn't mean that he doesn't love you. It's just like he's moving on in his relationship and he's growing within his relationship. Gotta let him grow, gotta let go, like, gotta loosen the strings to let him become a freaking adult. But it's just like she's basically step out of bounds, and it's just like when she asked for that paternity test, just like, why does she have to prove something to you? At the end of the day, you're not, the father. So why does she need to prove anything to you, number one? And number two, why does she have to give the test, period? And it's just like, it's on the bounds, just like not knowing how to respect a boundary. And it's just like, sometimes it's just like your son gotta be willing to I'm not saying not, well, like, check her, but it's just like have respect some boundaries, and saying, if you continuously, because he said that, when they had like a little blow up, like when they were at, the mom's house, and they had, saying, if you don't learn how to respect my wife, or respect our family, or respect this and that and the third, we're not going to come around here anymore. You need to learn how to respect her, and you need to apologize. The mom was being stubborn, and she didn't apologize for anything because, she stepped out of bounds. She thought she didn't do no wrong when really she was. But still, in the same sense, still, at the end of the day, he was just like, okay, I'm not about to, waste my time with this. And she was like, I'm not about to waste my time with this either. Let's just go this, that, and the third. So that's why I say sometimes, and even in another scenario, in the same show, was like where there was a couple, boyfriend and girlfriend. Well, actually, they were fiancés would say. They were basically trying to build their home, and like his mom kept on giving her 2 cents and saying, well, I don't want this for the house, this shouldn't be like that. And then a girlfriend / fiance is like, but this isn't your home, this is ours, so why are you giving, it doesn't matter if you like it or not, this is about to be our house. And then she's just, and then like, she just like, well, I don't want this on the house and everything like that. And then she's just still getting annoyed, and she's like, but this isn't your house, this is our decision, it's what we talked about. But the one thing that was, kind of like irritating me a little bit is how boyfriend / fiance didn't stick up for her and saying, why are you automatically changing things when your mom's here? We already discussed this. Like, why aren't you, putting this in check? Like, what the heck is going on? Like, why aren't you, putting this in some type of check and letting her know, hey, this isn't what we're doing. We already discussed this at home. Why are you not saying anything? And then she just like, well, there needs to be a guest bedroom for me. And then she's looking like, but mind you, mama already lived right down the street from the house that they were building, so what the heck you need a guest bedroom for? Me, in my opinion, that just made me laugh, because I was just like, the heck you need a guest bedroom for? You live right down the street, you can walk to your house. And then she was saying, well, I need a key, I need this, I need that. And she was saying, and honestly, the couple has a dog, and they were saying, oh yeah, we need a doggy door for our dog and things like that. And she was like, no, I don't want a doggy door. And then the girl was still looking at her like, it isn't your decision. And then the boyfriend just kept on shutting her down and was like, well, mom can give an opinion. And then she was like, no, we already made our opinion, we already made what we were going to do for our house, and she has no say so, because this is not her house, this is going to be our house. She's not getting the key. And I'm telling you straight up, if this was me, I would have been like, okay, no. I said, I'm not going to disrespect your mother, but still in the same sense, no, she's not getting the key. We're doing what we want to do for our house. We might have a guest bedroom, but it's not going to be for her. She lives right down the street. The heck she need a guest bedroom for? But it's just like certain things. It's just like there's just certain things where, like, I'm not saying in this scenario with this whole show where these guys disrespect their mothers, but it's just like they have to set up boundaries with their moms to let them know what is wrong and what is wrong, what is right, what you need to respect, what you need to stay out of, and stop getting in the middle between. And like I said, it's the same thing with friendships when it comes to an outside friend giving comments and being in the middle of your relationship. Don't bring friends in your relationship. And I'm not saying that friend, you can't confide in a friend or rant to a friend if you know you feel like that, but at the end of the day, your friend gotta be like, okay, I'm here, but A and B, y'all gotta figure this out. Because at the end of the day, it has, like, still hands up. You got to figure out your relationship that goes on between A and B. And sometimes I would say this. Me, I love all my friends, but there's sometimes where where really you don't need to tell your friends everything that goes on within your relationship. Because, and not saying that you can't, like, you can't talk to your friends about some things, and you can't tell them, what's going on, how's everything going, and you don't want to rant to your friends. But there's some type, like, if you know what your friend is, like, the type of friend that you have, of, like, that's the person that's always going to sit up here and, like, say some certain cutthroat and messy stuff and, like, be in the middle, then I would say this. There's certain friends that you don't need to tell everything to your relationship to, because you already know how that person is going to react, how that person's going to act. If they're super messy, if they get in the middle of your relationship, if they create all this drama and the back and forth and everything like that, yeah, there's certain friends that you don't need to tell that to, because there's a lot of friends that are like, yeah, you can rant to and give you, they'll give your opinion, but still they let you work it out A and B, and then they let you at the end of the day work it out, and they respect your boundary within your relationship. But there are certain friends that need to get shut down on that part and say, hey, you need to, it's time for you to calm down within all this. It's time for you to, take a step back, because there are some people who do. And 110%, I will say, there are a lot of people who, like, don't, like, say, oh yeah, I'm just helping my friend. I'm trying to be there for my friend. I'm just having my family members back. I'm all for it. And that's cool, lovely. That's cool that you have your family and your friends back. But still, in the same sense, too, it's creating mess and drama within family, or within that relationship, or within family, or within a friendship. It's creating mess. And there's, like, sometimes where people have to learn how to let some people handle some stuff on their own, and also respect the boundaries. And also, this takes me back to one of my classmates within this past semester when I was taking interpersonal communications. She was saying how, and I think I said this before in a past episode, but she was saying how like, her and her boyfriend, now her boyfriend has a friend that but they used to be, have some things going on within themselves before, he moved on, but they're still tight. And she was like, well, is it wrong for me to do that? I said, there's nothing wrong with that. It's fine that, now they, had a friendship, even though they did have, they had some things going on, and they, they had, like, some underlining things going on or whatever. And before, you came along, but still, in the same sense, now that she knows that both of you guys are now in a relationship now, it's all I said was that she has to be willing to respect you guys' boundaries and know that you guys are together now, and not overstep that boundary. She can be cool, she can be tight, and I understand, they had some dealings before, but they can be cool and they can be tight with one another, but it's all on the spaces that she has to respect that boundary now. She knows that he has moved on. Don't get in between that. And sometimes I do say that sometimes things like that don't work out, but I could speak too soon. But there's some scenarios where they don't work out, and you have to dead that person completely, that other outside friend that you used to have dealings with it completely. But majority of the time, are people who are very mature that honestly, they do. It does work out. And, like, everyone respects the boundary at the end of the day, and everything that need be. So I do say, within family and friends, everyone has to be willing to respect boundaries. And sometimes there's some people that just need to stay out of it and not cross that line, and just need to stay out of it. And also, because there are many people that can sit up here and be so involved in someone else's relationship or something else that other people got going on, family, friends, or whatever, when they got their own stuff to deal with. Why am I, like, you need to stay out of your stuff and worry about your own personal stuff, your own personal boundaries. Like, you got to worry about that. You got to keep, set some personal stuff, within you. You got to handle some personal stuff within you. Instead of being so much in their relationship or whatever the heck they got going on, you got to handle some stuff on your own, love bug. Sorry, but there's some stuff that you got to handle. So, but what I want to leave you, before I move on to top 3 with your girl Nene, I would say the one thing I will leave you, this last definition about personal boundaries. Personal boundaries, or the act of setting boundaries, in a life skill that has been popularized by self-help. Authors and support groups have kept the same mantra and same definition since the mid 1980s. And some benefits of setting a boundary is promotes authenticity, wards off burnout, improved emotional health, improved relationships, clear expectations for others, decreased stress, improved self-care capabilities, respect from others, and self-respect. I 110% agree with these, because when you set a boundary for yourself, or set a boundary within yourself, what you're comfortable with, and also within relationships, whatever relationship you are, if you're out of a relationship, anything like that, all these benefits, because my thing that having a boundary decreases stress on you, and I agree with all these. It decreases so many things, so many other hardships that could be going on between a relationship or within yourself. When you set boundaries for yourself, or value in a moral for yourself, you can honestly be willing to have a sense of peace within yourself. Because I feel like all these benefits will, at the end of the day, give you a sense of peace and clarity within family, friends, and within oneself and within yourself, and care about you, like I said, self-care, and also your self-respect. So I would say, have a boundary, set a boundary, and also for you, love bugs, don't step out of bounds. Your friends and family can confide in you, but also still respect their boundary. Let them handle it, A and B, and throw your hands up and say, I'm praying for you guys that y'all work this out, but hey, I'm gonna stay out of it. Respect the boundaries. Don't step out of bounds, because that'll just make things worse and that'll create chaos. But when you use the benefit of setting a boundary, it'll give you a sense of peace, self-respect, self-care, and also have a steady state and a stable space of mind. All right, y'all. Well, that's it for my notion for today. And now on to top 3 with your girl Nene. Y'all already know, like I always say, I'm a theater kid. I gotta give y'all some stuff that's going on with entertainment today. So my first pick is that season 7 of SWAT is Indian's character returns addressed by showrunner. Y'all, if y'all know the show SWAT, if y'all know Shamar Moore, he's in that show, the show SWAT. Honestly, I've kind of fallen off of it a little bit because, the semester was in and the school year was in. So that's why I was like, and y'all, I'm in binge watching mode of multiple series that I didn't get into during the school year. And now I'm on it. So, but SWAT has been one. And so I've been, basically just looking at SWAT 2. And honestly, there's some more characters, there's some more twists and turns that honestly haven't addressed by the showrunner, and everyone just wants clarity within multiple characters because, y'all, it's a lot. It's a mess. But hey, at first SWAT did get canceled, but I'm so glad it came back, and I'm so glad they renewed it, because I was like, oh, yes. I'm so glad they renewed certain shows because honestly, I get hooked onto shows and then automatically they're off. They're not running anymore, or they cancel it, or they don't want to pick up another season. I get disappointed so much within my heart, and I know y'all feel the same way. But yeah, that's what's going on in the SWAT world. So hey, y'all, I gotta do some catch up on that series too. My second pick is that if y'all know the show Ginny and Georgia, which is on Netflix, they got renewed. I think they announced it a long time ago. They got renewed for 2 more seasons. So we got 2 more seasons of Ginny and Georgia coming up. They haven't had a release date yet, but I would say that just stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that one. They haven't had a release date, but just stay tuned and keep your eyes open for all my Ginny and Georgia fans out there. And that I would say. And my last pick, hold up, let me get that. Yeah, my last pick is in and honestly, this is not an entertainment. This is not an entertainment fact. This is about, a food chain. I would say, it's about Chick-fil-A, and I would say this last thing about Chick-fil-A. They're adding new item menus. So for all my Chick-fil-A lovers out there, including me, yeah, y'all go check out the new menu items that they got going on. This is like a side entertainment note, but hey. I say that. So y'all, this is ending out for my top 3 with your girl Nene, and that is all for my show today. Thank you so much for listening. I would like to give a huge shout out to the humanities department, and Bobby, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts and encouragement with everyone. Make sure you guys follow me on my personal Instagram, which is at Nene the Leap Year Baby. My Facebook is NENASMITH, my name, Nina Smith. And also my podcast Instagram is at Nene's Notions Podcast. So I will see you next time for another devotion. Y'all stay tuned for another episode of Nene's Notions. Bye, my loves.
This year, blessing, money, testimony. Go to follow.